Yes, sir.
16 followers, 5 of them are his relatives, and he has tweeted for the second time, Sanjay, I mean, who's overreacting here? The Puducherry police seems to... Why? What's going on, Sanjay? Would you take back your argument, Sanjay, on what you made about the persistent harassment of the finance minister?
No, I did not make the issue of persistence. It was, I think, the other gentleman in the studio.
Okay, sorry. Subimal made the point. Subimal, want to take back that point? That point is weak. You agree?
No, I don't need to take that. I don't need to take that point. And you know, whether I have 5 followers or I tweet 107 times, it has no relevance to the spirit of that law. The intent of Section 66A puts the onus on the tweeter or the particular person, you know, who is putting a particular tweet. And if that falls in that category, whether you know under Section 66 A's A, B, or C provisions, then you know the law allows that. But having said so, it's the interpretation that is left to the law enforcement forces, and Arnab, you know, you are very well aware what skewed understanding of the law enforcement machinery is, and you know how they interpret such laws.
But so by that logic,
the case of police going too far.
No, but by that logic, you know, you'd have to arrest Kejriwal, Anna, Swami, General Singh. All politicians should be in jail now. By the same act, because the replication of their words exists in cyberspace, and therefore a communication device or a computer resource is being used to amplify the message, and therefore today everything goes into the internet. What you and I say will go into the internet within seconds.
Arnab?
So it's not as if the internet is a new object that has landed from Mars and that there's some deep conspiracy, and Mr. Ravi is part of a deep conspiracy to use the internet device to destabilize the environment. Sanjay, you want to reconsider the point you made after what Ravi said?
Yes. No, I'm not reconsidering anything. All I'm saying, I'd like to add, I would say definitely that Ravi's tweet is not the best example of abuse on Twitter. All I said is it was an unsubstantiated allegation. I will not take that back. It is an unsubstantiated allegation. It's for him to prove it. I would like to tell you, Arnab, that if people have, I think we need to broaden this debate. If people have a problem with the Information Technology Act.
What is this causing annoyance business? Is my right to cause annoyance?
I'll tell you. See, first of all, you need to have an address. You need to, I'll explain this in a minute or less than a minute. If people have a problem with the Information Technology Act, with Section 66A, it's open to them to challenge the constitutionality of that. Perhaps it's also time to relook at our defamation laws, whether we need to decriminalize defamation.
No, the question being put by Shivam Vij. Shivam Vij is saying tonight, if P Chidambaram finds it defamatory, then file a defamation case, sue him for defamation.
How? No, here there is a technical point here. Today, Twitter, there is anonymity on Twitter.
And Arnab, is this a crime to say that
against a colleague of Mr. Shivam Vij, who recently wrote a blog about the Tarun tweet.
Goswami, how does it matter?
No, I want to make this point, Arnab. I want to make this point here. A colleague of Mr. Shivam Vij, if I'm not mistaken, recently wrote a blog, fair comment, very critical of that tweet about, the 50 crore girlfriend. And there were tweets after that attacking her saying, and I quote, "How many people's husbands did you sleep with? You're a woman, stay within limits." I can tell you that today Twitter is full of venom that certain sections are using. There are some people who use Twitter well.
Shivam Vij, respond.
And therefore...
No, but did you arrest Narendra Modi for this?
Shivam Vij, respond.
Did you arrest Narendra Modi for this?
I'm not talking about Narendra Modi. I'm talking here about the person who tweeted against one of your colleagues, if I'm not mistaken, who said, how many people...
Okay, 1 minute. Don't you have to repeat offensive
I don't know what he's talking about or what he's talking about.
I'm sure he knows.
I have not read any such blog post. Maybe he can point out to me later and I can respond to it. But the point here is that Mr. P Chidambaram did not file for defamation and this clause, because under defamation he won't be picked up at 5 a.m. You know, if causing death by negligence while driving puts you in jail for 2 years.
I am not justifying picking up somebody at 5 a.m. There are clear laws.
So I mean, what we're debating here is the draconian element of the law. I'm not saying that, let the court decide whether it's defamation or not.
I'm wondering,
put a draconian law for causing annoyance, it can be interpreted any which way.
I'm wondering tonight, with the middle of all this...
That is the law as it stands. You'll have to ask the Puducherry police that. If somebody has given a complaint, that's a legal option they have exercised.
No, Puducherry police, it's a
What is
Congress
the address?
government.
Does Twitter have an address? Twitter,
of course, it is a bad law, you will use it. It is a bad law, you will use it.
Twitter doesn't require email verification or identity authentication.
Yes,
so what address will you send?
No,
will
but
you send a legal
here's
notice
not,
to
you know,
initiate
watch it.
defamation
Ravi is
proceedings?
not anonymous. Ravi is not wearing a mask on Newshour. His name is Ravi Srinivasan.
I'm not saying Ravi is
That is
Ravi
not true,
in
Mr.
Ravi's
Pinto.
case, he's
Please
got a
sign up for a
real
Twitter
name.
account. It does require
Ravi's
email
case-
verification. You do not know
Ravi
Twitter.
has a right to defend himself. Ravi,
No.
Ravi.
Please, I mean, there are so many
Ravi will
pseudonyms. There are so
respond to
many-
you.
Ravi is not anonymous. I'm not saying Ravi is anonymous.
No, but in this
I don't
case, therefore, it was
think-
the
I
wrong
don't think
case.
Ravi has his address on
So
Twitter.
it was the
Nobody
wrong
has their
case.
address on Twitter.
No, but one sec. Then you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Ravi is a very bad case. You may have a good point, but what happens,
I'm
Sanjay?
saying- I'm
Does
saying
Mr.
Ravi is
Karti
not the best
Chidambaram
case
have
of abuse.
a verification on Twitter?
Here's a question tonight. Good point. Here's a question tonight to Ravi.
Well, the Prime Minister of India also has a Twitter account.
There is no proof. No, please. I mean, if you want to have a mobile phone connection, a SIM card, you have to give some proof of address, some proof of identity. Today, there are so many fake profiles on Twitter. There are pseudonyms.
what
there are
is
pictures
the-
of
So what
pictures
is
of
the
dogs
moot
and
point
cats.
is-
But that's the
there
beauty
are
of it.
symbols, there are titles. No, all I'm
What
saying
does
is
that
how
have to
you
do
sue for
with this
defamation
case? Please
immediately.
explain. Please
How do
explain.
you said no,
What does that have to
Mr.
do with this
Mr.
case?
Shivam,
No, do you
Mr.
want
Shivam,
us
you
to
said-
go to registrar
you
of
said somebody
newspapers
was
to
sued
get
for
a Twitter
defamation. What address will he send? What address will you send?
Let's
Will you
start
give
a ministry of
complaint?
Twitter.
The police will use their mechanism to get.
Let's start
to
a
get to
ministry
the
of Twitter.
bottom of
Mr.
it, to
Karti
investigate
Chidambaram
and
can be
get
the
address.
minister.
And before you tweet, you should apply for anticipatory bail, I think.
No, I mean, you're
gentlemen.
sensationalizing this and oversimplifying the whole thing.
The
No one's
question
saying that
tonight
at all.
is, may I ask,
Mr. Karti Chidambaram can be minister of Twitter and Sanjay Pinto can be junior minister of state.
well, I'll tell you what. One sec, gentlemen.
I have no such political ambition. I don't know whether you
Yeah,
do.
one
there.
sec,
I
I
have
want to
such
ask you
ambition.
tonight.
I'm happy with what I do.
Ravi, look at you, right? You had 16 followers and 5 of them were your relatives till maybe last night. And tonight you have,
Now you have 16 million followers.
he's a Twitter celebrity. I wonder tonight how you look at this, because by the act of having you arrested, Karti Chidambaram has brought greater attention on what you said and the whole issue than he may have bargained for. Now, how do you find yourself in the middle of this huge controversy, and you have some 1,100 followers as opposed to 16?
I didn't expect this, but see, what I tweeted was my own, my thought only. My thought only. That is, having so many followers is good.
Well, Ravi Srinivasan.
You know, back in April, Subramanian Swamy had also leveled corruption allegations against Karti Chidambaram. He's not in jail. Why did Ravi have to go to jail?
Question tonight is that in our country, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
And it is not a crime to say that Karti Chidambaram is richer than Vadra. If you want to find out, you should use the income tax law, not the IT Act.
Well, Karti Chidambaram has the legal option of filing a defamation case. But the question tonight is not. The question is about, I think the whole issue is of tolerance, about the Lakshman Rekha, about the democratic spirit, and about whether every person, along with nursery training and learning the languages and learning writing and reading, whether all people in primary school should also be made to do a course in law, so that by the time they pass their class 10 examination, they are qualified lawyers, and everything they say, whether they become cartoonists or journalists or cyberspace experts or businessmen, has legal vetting. If we are going to bring down our democracy to that, then we'd be a country of 1.2 billion lawyers. I don't know how exciting that country will be, however. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me on that debate tonight. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.